In this tutorial, I am going to be demonstrating the production of this tower bolt in a 3D form. Let us study the bolt carefully. The method I'm going to be producing this bolt in is basically going to be an exploded form. For example, it can be observed that this bolt can be manufactured or created in pieces and then assembled. Noticing, however, that this bolt, it has a base, it has two side pieces, two end pieces, plus the pin that goes through the end pieces. So if we are able to construct those individual pieces, then it's just a matter of assembling the pieces. So what I'm going to be doing is to demonstrate the production of this bolt in basically 6 pieces and then assembling those pieces. Now the first piece I'm going to be producing is going to be our base plate, and it should be observed that the features or the shape of that base plate is from a top view. And so from a top view, we are going to now be creating our base plate. Now the basic dimensions are given for our base plate, and it is observed that the original shape for this plate would have been a rectangular one, and so that is the method we're going to be employing to produce that base. So let us go to our rectangle command from our draw toolbar. Let's select rectangle. Let's just select a point on screen, and from dimensions in our command line, when asked for the length, let's type 80, enter, and for our width, 40 millimeters, enter. Now notice a rectangle is on screen. Let's just click for placement. From our model, we realize that the 4 corners basically has fillet, and it is indicated that there are 4 fillet of radius 5. So from our modify tab, we select fillet. From our command area, we select radius and type 4, enter. But since we're going to be doing all 4 corners, let us also select multiple, or type M, enter. It gets the same result done. Now all we have to do is to click on the lines that forms the corner. So I have filleted 1 corner. Let's go ahead and fillet other corners. Now the 4 corners have been filleted like our model. The next thing we're going to be doing is to put in our 4 circles that will indicate the holes in our base. Now these are circles of diameter 4. Those 4 circles share the center of our curves. So let us go to our draw toolbar and select circle. From that option, we're going to be selecting our diameter method. When prompted for the center of the circle, just hover across a curve and the center would have been highlighted. Click on that center and type 4, enter, for your first circle to be put in. We're going to be copying that circle and pasting it at other corners. So let us go copy, select our circle, enter, select the midpoint for displacement, and paste at other centers. Remember, we have to hover across the curves and the centers are highlighted. Now the basic shape of it, base plate, is complete. Let us go ahead and view that in a realistic way and in a southeast view. So let us find that, and what we're going to be now doing is to give extrude to the thickness of that base. We're going to be giving a thickness, so we're going to be using our extrude toolbar. Now from our diagram, our base plate has a thickness of 5 millimeters. So let us go solid and extrude. Select the base on the 3D side, enter, and pull downwards, -5, enter. -5 because I wanted our extrusion to be downwards, thereby leaving our circles on the top. What I'm now going to be doing is to pressing these holes through the object. So let us go press pull and hover inside just the area you wish to press through, which is our circle. When that circle is highlighted, click and push straight through and click again. A hole has been punched. Likewise, hover in other circles. When the circle gets highlighted, click and push through. You have to ensure you push more than the thickness of the object. Otherwise, the hole would have been a part hole and not a through hole. So let's hover within the circle, click and push through. Now our base is complete. What is next for us to complete? Let us now complete our 2 side plates and our end plates. Now you will observe that the shape of those side plates are seen from a right end view. Alright? It should be observed that the end faces are seen from a right side view. So let us now switch our view to a right side view from which we are going to be creating those pieces. Let me first switch this side, however, to a top view, thereby allowing us to see the diagram on this side for dimension's sake, while I now switch this side to my right side view. So let's go right. Now the object might be a little bit hard to find, so let us just click that area and it is going to be highlighted right there. Now the pieces we're now going to be drawing represents these 2 end pieces plus the center piece. The dimensions are given as 15 millimeters from the curve to the base of the base plate. Since we already have the base plate, what we are going to be doing is to draw a rectangle, or a square rather, which is going to be 10 millimeters, which is the 15 minus the 5, by 10 millimeters. Since the radius is given as 5, it means it has a width of 10. So what I'm going to be drawing is a square of 10 by 10. Notice also that the middle piece also has height of 10, but it has width of 20. Let us make those 2 pieces. So from our home tab, we go rectangle. And I'm going to be attaching my rectangle to the center point of this object. And I'm going to be drawing my rectangle. Let us go dimensions and type 10 for your length, enter. Also 10 for your width, enter. You have to click, however, for the square to be populated. So let us give click. Let me now move that upwards. We're going to be using that in a minute to complete our side piece rather over here. Let us now make our square that we're going to be using to form this end plate. Now that is going to be rectangle again, connecting the center, pull out, and that rectangle is of dimensions 20 millimeters across and 10 millimeters in height. Enter. Let's click on screen for our rectangle to be populated. Let's also move that rectangle upwards into a clear area. Let's also move it away from that one for clarity's sake. Alright, so now we have both profiles of our end and the side plate. Notice, however, that both has curved top, and they said that those are of radius 10 millimeters for our large and 5 for our small. So let us go circle, center, radius. Our center for circle is at the center of our rectangle, and our radius is at the edge. Likewise for this circle, center and our radius at the edge. What we have to do now is to simply trim away the greater portion. But notice, first of all, that within this centerpiece, there is a circle of diameter 8. Let us go ahead and draw that circle diameter, which is the center of this circle, and our diameter is 8. Enter. Now that circle is expected to be the bore in the end piece. Let us now trim up our pieces. So let's trim, select our rectangles, enter, so we can remove the inner portion of our circles. Let us now trim again. This time select both circles and trim away our diameter line. Oh, there is a piece here still to be trimmed out, so let's select that and let's trim that out. Let us now select both pieces and type J for the pieces to be joined as complete shapes. If we were now to go over to our 3D side and again view from a southeast isometric, we should now be able to see the pieces that we had created. Let me switch over here back to our top view, thereby allowing us to get dimensions. Now, the side pieces has length of 35 millimeters, while our end piece is of width or thickness 10 millimeters. Let us use extrude to create those two pieces. So we're going to go extrude from our solid tab, and let's extrude. Select our pieces, in this case both pieces, and we're going to give, they have different extrusion lengths, and so we can't extrude both pieces at the same time. So let us just extrude this piece, and that has thickness of 10 millimeters. Let us go -10 for extrusion, because I would like to keep my circle on this side, making it easier to press through or to pull through. Or we could just extrude both and then subtract the circle. But I'm going to give extrusion of -10. Enter. But that's something different. Let's go again. Extrude. Let's just extrude both pieces. And I'm going -10. Enter. Now I have that end profile, or that end piece created. Let us also extrude the side piece, which is now 35 in length. Now we have the profile, or now we have constructed a, a side piece and an end piece. But still in this piece, even though the hole might be showing here in a wireframe view, it is actually a solid piece until we subtract the inner piece. So let us go subtract, select the outer piece, enter, and then select the inner piece, enter. Now there is a hole through there. Let us connect the pieces. So let us go home and move. Now notice in moving that let us move this piece by holding it at the center of this side, because that side aligns with the center of this side. And let's paste. We could now also copy and hold in the center of this side over here and paste. It seems like I'm moving. Let's go copy, select, enter, and I'm going to hold it in the center of the other side and paste it at the center of this side. Let us escape. Both side pieces have now been installed. Let us move our end piece. And you should now realize that the center of the back, if we are able to find that, let me turn off my snaps. We should be able to find the center of the back. There it is. And that is to align with the center of this back edge. Let us now copy, select the object, and we are now going to hold it at the center of the front edge, because the center of that edge is to now align with the center of this edge. Escape when you have pasted. Let us view our object in a realistic way, noticing that the pieces have now come together. Pardon my color, I'm going to be changing in a bit, but notice that the pieces have now come together. What is left is for us now to put in our pin. Alright, now to draw our pin, now notice that the pin is seen from a front view. Alright, the pin is seen from a front view. That's the way, or that's the face from which the shape of the pin is seen. Let us now go again and switch our view to front and find our shape we have created. It's very tiny, but let's just zoom and find it's very tiny. And there's our model. Let me switch back this side, however, to wireframe. And let me also take a look. By the way, let us take a look at the top view so as we can obtain dimensions for our pin. Our pin is 142 in length, and then there is a 40 in height. Then we have a 68.25 coming back, and then there is a 30 going down. All right. Now, what is going to happen? Let us first draw that line, which is 142, and then we'll come back to that. Let us view again in a southeast isometric view, so we can start the drawing of that line, which is our 142. Since that represents the pin, which is to be aligned with these holes, let us start by drawing that line. So let us go line, and let us start our line from the center of that circle, and we are heading in that direction, 142, enter. Let's also give escape, and let us observe from our 2D side our pin. I'm going to change this side back to a top view, thereby allowing us to get the rest of our dimensions. What we have thus far is our line, which is 142. Let us go line to continue. Connect at the end, and we're going upwards of 40 millimeters. Then to our right of 68.25, enter. And then we're going down 30 millimeters, enter. Now that's the basic dimensions of our pin, which is going to be sliding through our body of our bolt. We're going to be filling our corners with radius of 5 millimeters. So let us go fillet, radius of 5 millimeters, enter. We're going to be doing this corner, enter, this corner, enter, and this corner, enter. Or we could have selected our multiple option, thereby allowing us to do all three. Let us select our object and give J for join, enter, and test. Now our object has been joined. But now what really happens is that all we have is a line lined up with our center, but it's not actually a pin or a bolt. Right now it's actually a line. But since we have a hole of diameter 8, I am assuming that our bolt is also going to be of diameter 8. So let us go ahead and draw a circle. And we can draw that circle pretty much anywhere. So let's draw it here. What view are we on? We should be on front, or aren't we? Front. And let's go again. I'm going to go again and draw my circle of diameter 8. Enter. Now, to give body to our center line, what I'm going to be doing is to sweeping this onto this line, thereby giving this line this profile. So from my solid tab, we're going to go sweep from our extrude pull down. So let's go sweep, select your circle, enter, and then click on your path, which is the shape we would have drawn. We would now notice that our pin has been constructed. Let us view that in our isometric view, southeast isometric, and let us also zoom that into view. I'm going to give them different colors so we can identify the pieces as they come together. So let me give the body, let's select that, and let's right click, go to properties, and I'm going to change my color from my properties to red. And I think I'm going to make the pin yellow. Let's not go yellow, let's go green. And that be my pin. Let me just move. So from home, move. I'm going to move the pin portion of my bolt inwards, but ensure that your ortho mode is on while that is being done. Now I have slid my bolt or the pin portion inwards. Let us go over to our 3D side so we can observe our bolt in a realistic way. And so our bolt would have been constructed and complete. Allow me to dispose of the model. And I think there was a larger model somewhere in here, but it's not an issue. But that's our bolt. It is now complete in a 3D form. And from our 2D side, we can even demonstrate the slide action of our slider here as it slides in. And now our bolt is fully in. So again, our 3D bolt is complete and ready for use. You should also now be able to design pins, or from other tutorials that I have out there, you should now be able to view those. Even if you wish to give chamfer or fillet to our holes, we could just go fillet, and you might want to fillet those with radius perhaps about 1 or 2 millimeters. Let's go 1, enter. And you could give curvature to perhaps the edge of the holes, but let's not do that since that was not depicted on our diagram. But we do have the option to create pins and other objects for our bolt. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for other videos.